All right, we're back, and to finish the Latin American independence movements. Right, we did Haiti. You watched the video in Mexico. We just did the Spanish-speaking areas of South America, and now to Brazil, where nobody had to die. So this is a pretty interesting one. It'll be short, but it is pretty interesting in terms of independence movements. So it is unique. There's barely any fighting. I mean, maybe one person died. I don't know. It's led by the Portuguese royal family. Remember, Brazil was a Portuguese colony, and it kept the status quo. And if you don't know what that means, the status quo is the way things are. So with the social hierarchies that existed in the Spanish colonies that we talked about, it's pretty much the same deal in Brazil. And so and I didn't mention this before, while in the Spanish colonies, when they got their independence, the social hierarchy thing broke down, right? So obviously you couldn't have been born in Spain. It can be the only people to be in government and blah, 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 blah. So that it wasn't perfect, but you have more social mobility. So the status quo is the way things are, and that's going to be kept. Okay, surprise, surprise. Who do you think kicks off the events that start the Brazilian independence? That's right, Napoleon. It's always Napoleon. So when this should really say when he tried to invade, because remember he got stuck in Spain, and they never quite made it to where they wanted to go in the Peninsular War. But news, oh hey, Napoleon's out to get you. What does this the brave prince do? Prince John flees to Brazil. And he loved it there. 1815, after the Battle of Waterloo, he's now the king because his father had died, I guess, in the meantime. And so after Waterloo, which again, super important in world history, he's like, okay, Europe is safe. I've been hiding out for 8 years. I'm going to go back to Portugal and be the king. And yes, this is why we spend so much time on him. He has an effect on everything. All right, so he had a young son, Dom Pedro. He left him in charge of Brazil. And in 1822, so this is 2 years before the Battle of Multiple Choice Question, which battle was the great victory in 1824 for Bolivar and Martin? That is the Battle of Ayacucho. But the wars have been going on in South America for a while. And so they petitioned the king for independence, and he's like, okay, as long as my son's in control. And this whole social hierarchy is retained. And remember, it was all race-based, all this stuff. And this explains why Brazil is one of the last countries on the planet to ban slavery. It was done after the U.S. Civil War. So all of the social, race-based, strict who can do what, that stays along, while in the rest of South America, it's no longer like that, to put it simply. These things get very complex. And, okay, I found this. I thought it was funny. Bone apart, bone together. That's it. So what are we going to do next? That probably took up about 20 to 25 minutes of your time, so we probably have about 25 minutes left in class, maybe half an hour. So when you are finished with the Edpuzzle videos, I want you to go back to Shobi and time for some Kahoot. And because what better way to go onto Easter break than with some good old-fashioned Kahoot? We'll do it with Zoom, and I'll put in I'll put the link in Shobi. But so once you're finished with this, go back and say, Mr. Bliss, I'm finished. Okay, so then I know when we can start Kahoot. And if for some reason something happens with your technology and you get left behind, and we might have to start without you, because if I don't hear from you and it's like I'm not going to wait till there's 2 minutes left in class. I'll put the code in Kahoot, so just look there and join the Zoom, and then you can join the Kahoot. So I'll present the Kahoot on my screen, and then you can play probably like on your phones or something if you're using your iPads to do this. If you have a laptop, then you're all set too. But hopefully everyone can join us and we can have a fun time to end the to end school because we got vacation now. All right. I'll see you in Kahoot.